Welcome back to the channel, HEX Tribe. In this video, we're going to be talking about a brand new crypto airdrop that's given out for free again to HEX holders, and more specifically to HEX stakers only. So this is a very exclusive airdrop, and if you want to know if you qualify or not, it's really simple. Are you staking HEX? Do you have existing HEX stakes? If so, congratulations, you qualify for this airdrop that just launched a couple hours ago. To be honest, I just found out about this like 2 days ago, so I'm still researching everything, but I'm going to give you all of my thoughts, so stick around till the end because I'm going to tell you why I think this project was created, why I like it personally so far, and obviously I'll be very clear about, all the risks involved and all the functionality of this coin, but you need to decide for yourself at the end of this video after hearing everything I have to say whether or not you think this is a good idea or whether or not you want to participate. Obviously, it's optional, but hey, where else in the world can you get literally free money that just rains down from the sky? And this token doesn't have a value yet because, again, it launched like 2 or 3 hours ago. But as we know, people will tend to trade anything with a ticker symbol. So in my thought process and my logic, I say why not? I think this seems relatively safe, and I'll explain why, but I'll also explain that nothing is without risk, and you should always know that. When you decide to get involved in a crypto airdrop, you have to make that decision yourself. I don't make that for you, and so, again, I can be pretty sure myself that this is something I would like to be involved in. I'm going to choose to claim this token. I'm going to be right up front with you about that. But you don't have to, and if it scares you, if you're too worried about it, if it's too new, then really simply just don't claim it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Now, you might want to be one of those people that just waits a little bit to make sure, nobody gets hacked, nothing bad happens with the actual contract itself. And to be honest, that's probably a good idea. Now, the really cool thing about Communis coin right here, communis.app, that's the website. I'm going to leave it right up on the screen here. Communis. I know it sounds like communist, but hey, I didn't choose the name. It's probably Latin for something. Probably community or something like that. But I do believe this coin was created with good intentions in mind. It was made by a well-known HEX developer who's been in the community since day one, even earlier. He goes by Kodiak, and you can follow him on the Telegram there. You could probably ask him questions directly if you're lucky enough. And we're still so early on this, guys. There's only like 200 people in the Telegram at the time of me making this video. But really quickly, I want to clarify one thing. There's no rush on this one, okay? There's no earlier bonus. You don't get any more coins for finding out about it early. So calm down, be cool, and take your time. You can take your time with this one because it's nice that there's not actually any rush to do it. Now, there might be some decisions you might want to make to claim it earlier rather than later, but it's really, really negligible. And it's not like Hedron, where those guys got, 10x multipliers in the early days of Hedron, and that dwindled down over 100 days. There's really nothing like that in Communis, or Communist, however you want to pronounce it. There's really nothing like that. You can chill, you can decide and make your own informed decision. And basically what it is the entire coin, this entire idea of the COM token, that's the abbreviation, COM token, is to reward HEX good staking behavior, to reward positive long-term staking behavior where people actually see their stakes all the way through, and to reward people for the best possible behavior in HEX. Now, as if the HEX rewards themselves weren't already good enough. The only people actually winning in HEX are the long-term stakers. Let's be real here. But for those people out there that might have not understood the long-term nature of HEX or how the game is really meant to be played in the HEX system, this coin is meant to further incentivize those behavior patterns of staking long and staking big and following through on your stake that you said you were going to do, not emergency end staking it, and of course not just holding liquid, and of course not trading. So this might actually incentivize people, in my opinion, to, if they weren't already stakers, this might incentivize a lot of people to become stakers, just like Hedron did, because now with HEX stakes, as we know, you get a free token Hedron. This is yet another free token. So I want to remind you guys right up front at the beginning here, when you're ending a HEX stake, this is just one more thing to keep in mind. Again, totally optional, but one more thing you might not want to forget about before you're ending a stake as well. Because I see people all the time that end HEX stakes and they don't bother to mint their Hedron. And sometimes all that mintable Hedron could be worth a couple of $100s. If you don't know what Hedron is, watch my previous videos. Now, Communis is still so young and early that there's no liquidity for it right now. It doesn't even have a price as far as I know. This is day one. But in the future, a year from now, let's say you're ending a stake, you might want to just check on how much Communist coin you could potentially earn just by clicking a button. It's very, very simple. Because again, you might be leaving free money on the table if you don't remember to check not only your Hedron, but your Communist now. Okay, so Communist is really cool, and I really do believe that it was made with the intentions to really bolster the psychology of the HEX ecosystem. And I think it's going to fix the thinking of a lot of people that just don't quite get, the delayed gratification mechanism behind HEX. So what does it say, guys? Community first, tokenized shares. These are effectively tokenized shares. So in order to earn any communist at all, you need to have shares. How do you get shares? You need to have HEX staked. And the entire system of rewards is calculated based on how many shares you have. And it's also weighted by the length of time as well. Which means if you make a giant stake but it's only a year long, you might actually be able to make a slightly smaller stake. If that stake is for, let's say, 10 years, a smaller 10-year stake might outweigh a larger 1-year stake. It all depends on the math and how it works out. We're not going to get into the math specifics. We're just going to read a couple of the really quick value props, and then we're going to go into how exactly to claim this. Guys, it's super easy. You just click a button, but hold on. Hang out with me till the end, because at the very end, I'm going to show you how to go into the app and how to claim your free COM token if you're a HEX staker. What is Communist? It's an ERC20, and it was designed to incentivize people to stake better. How is Communist distributed? Well, you see there's a start bonus, an end bonus, a good accounting bonus, a restake bonus, and a staking bonus. Now, the two primary bonuses in Communist are start and end. Every time you start a stake, you are allowed to claim the start bonus. That mints you some COM, okay? And when your stake gets all the way to the end, you're allowed to mint the rest of the remaining COM token for that particular stake. Now, the start bonus is significantly lower than the end bonus. So, the start bonus can be anywhere from 5 to 25% of the total COM allocated to your stake. And every stake is going to have some finite certain amount of COM token that's mintable, again, based on your weighted T-shares. T-shares weighted by time. And so, anywhere between 5 and 25% is going to be your start bonus. So, let's say, for example, you've got a whole bunch of open stakes right now, and you want to go mint your start bonus on all of them. Well, you might only be getting about 10% of the total COM token in that start bonus, because the end bonus is where the vast majority of your COM tokens are typically going to get minted from. So imagine you just have this pool of COM tokens waiting to be minted, and if you prove that you started stakes, you get to mint about 10% of those tokens, again, 5 to 25, somewhere in the middle. And then when you see that stake all the way through, when you actually commit to that stake and it reaches the expiry date, you get to mint, let's say, the other 90% of all of those COM tokens that were allocated to your stake. And if you emergency end stake, well, guess what? You're going to be penalized. Just like you're penalized out of HEX, you're going to be significantly penalized out of your COM end bonus. So we're going to really focus on these two bonuses for the video. Now, why is COM so important? Well, it's not only minted based on the amount of shares, so it doesn't only benefit whales, and this is really, really cool. It primarily benefits longer-term stakers more so than just whales. And to be honest, guys, it actually benefits people starting stakes today and slightly penalizes people that have started stakes, 100, 200, 500 days ago. I'll explain about that in a minute. So Kodiak designed this with, he says, forever in mind. So he kind of designed it, he says this verbatim, he designed it as if it was a thing all along. So there's no weird launch phases, there's no early, found it first bonuses just for finding the Telegram chat first. And guys, by the way, go to the Telegram chat, definitely read up on this and ask questions in the chat before you do anything else. There's no admin keys, of course, that's just a must-have these days almost, and no origin address. Your influence in Communis is directly reflected from the number of shares you have from your stakes and for how many days. Again, that's kind of like weighted shares, right? It's completely read-only. There's no wrapping here. There's no encapsulated stakes. This is not like Hedron at all. Hedron and Communis are completely different, so before you try to make any comparisons, they're completely different, so I wouldn't even try. And they're mintable to only those whose stakes ownership can be provably signed for. And that's all you're doing when you're clicking the claim button. You're just signing a signature that says, hey, yes, I'm verifying that these are my stakes. So give me my start bonus, give me my end bonus. And really the good accounting bonus and restake bonus are minor, but we're going to get to those in a minute too. So read the website, guys. I'll go through the website very quickly in this video here, but I really highly recommend reading the website. Tokenized shares only given to long-term stakers. Now, only long-term stakers means that in order to even mint a start bonus at all, in order to mint any start bonus at all, you need to have a minimum of 180 staked days. If you make a stake that only lasts for a month, you don't get any bonus at all. You're not even qualified for this. So at a very minimum, the start bonus is for people that have staked for 180 days or over. Again, the payout can be anywhere between 5 and 25% of the total of the end bonus, and that's based on probably a linear scale between 180 and the maximum length number of days. Now, there are penalties, and this is what I was just talking about earlier. So because I have a lot of stakes that I made a long, long time ago, and then they still have a long, long way to go as well, my start bonus payout's actually going to be slightly penalized based on the distance between my stakes share rate and the global share rate. So the global share rate today is about 25,000 hex per T-share. I probably made a lot of stakes when hex was maybe 15,000 or 17,000 hex per T-share. I don't know. I don't personally know the exact specifics, but because let's say the distance between 17,000 and 25,000, what is that? 8,000 hex in the middle there. That distance is going to be calculated into a reduced payout for me, which actually benefits new stakers a little bit more than existing stakers. Now, obviously, if you're an existing staker, you're still probably going to be very happy. You're still going to get a lot of start bonuses, especially if you have a ladder like I do. But this is just nice to see because it doesn't really favor the old guys. It actually kind of favors new players, new stakers in the system. So the penalty example is, for example, let's say the share rate was 100,000 when you started your stake, but now the share rate is 200,000. You get to keep only 50% of your start bonus payout. Basically, the closer you claim the start bonus compared to when you started the stake, like if you start a stake and then you mint your start bonus like 1 day later, you're probably going to get 100% or 99% of your start bonus payout. So this is an incentive just to make sure people are paying attention, right? You don't want to just forget that the start bonus is here. And if you do, well, let's say you find out about this 2 years from now, well, you're probably not going to get as much of the start bonus because you didn't mint the start bonus right when you started the stake. And a lot of us with existing stakes, right, we're also going to have reduced start bonuses because this didn't exist when we first made our original stakes, right? This didn't exist, but now that it does, we have to calculate the fact that we're so far from the original share price. The share price has gone up so much since the times that we staked in the past, so we're going to get penalized. I'm talking about me in particular and everybody else that's been here for a while. The start bonus FAQ, so why only 180 days to mint the start bonus and not the end bonus? Well, the goal is for this to appeal to a wider group of people and then entice them to become a longer term staker. So you want to give people a bonus that have staked for at least 180 days, but you're not going to be able to claim an end bonus unless you have a minimum of 365 days. So that's pretty cool, right? So it gets people in and they say, oh, well, cool. I've got all these, shorter term stakes and some of them are eligible for the start bonus. And then they're going to see, well, all my stakes that are less than a year, they're not actually eligible for the end bonus. So they're going to say, damn, I wish I could have had the end bonus. And I think this is going to drive people to typically start staking in increments of 1 year or greater. So again, the minimum required number of days to mint your start bonus is 180, but the minimum number required of days to mint your end bonus is 365. So I think that's great. You get them in with the start bonus and the bigger bonus. Remember, the end bonus is much, much bigger than the start bonus. Well, if you want that one, you have to have stakes longer than a year, not just stakes longer than 6 months. When and how many times can you receive the start bonus? Only one time per stake, any time after it's been locked. Do old stakes qualify? Any stake that has not been ended will qualify. Yes, old stakes do qualify, but again, they're slightly penalized. And the penalty, again, he explains it right here, is to encourage people to mint the start bonus as soon as possible. Now, the end bonus is just like the start bonus, but you get to mint it when you've served all of your days. Now, the payout is reduced depending on the number of staked days, so the more number of days in your stake, if you have a 5555 stake, your end bonus is going to be a lot bigger than if you have only a 365-day stake. But again, the minimum is 1 year. You must fulfill 100% of the staked days commitment. And you must mint it within 37 days of the stake's due date. He just picked 37 days because that's roughly 1/10 of a year. Now there's another caveat here. You must have staked Communis greater than or equal to the accumulated end bonus debt. This can get pretty complex, so I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can, but it's going to make a lot more sense when you just simply see it on the dashboard. Now there is a good accounting bonus too. The good accounting bonus is much, much lower. So for example, if the start bonus is roughly 10% of the total and the end bonus is 100% of that total pool of com, the good accounting bonus is 1% of your shares. So 1, 10, 100, kind of just orders of magnitude, right? Now, not a lot of people even know about good accounting, and even fewer people probably run it, but you can run it for anybody. And for every good accounting bonus that you run, you get 1% of the shares from that particular stake. And you can start doing this 37 days after the stake's due date, because remember, the user has 37 days to run the end bonus function before they go into the good accounting mode, in which anybody can run that for anybody. But you got to make sure that if you want to run good accounting, the end bonus cannot have already been ran. Once the end bonus runs, that closes everything down. There's nothing more you could do after you pick the end bonus. But if the end bonus, for whatever reason, hasn't been run, you can go ahead and come in and get 1% of all the shares. And that can actually add up. So if you just want to snipe good accounting all day, so if you just want to sit around all day and snipe, good accounting functions for other people, you can do that if that's how you want to spend your time. It's a maybe valid strategy because 1% of a whole bunch of stakes could slowly add up over time. And now the reason for doing this is to encourage dead shares to be taken out of the system. Because remember, good accounting removes shares from the system, but it doesn't increase the share rate because it doesn't mint the HEX back to the user. So you just basically consider good accounting to be cleaning up dead shares, and the reason they're slightly rewarded, minorly rewarded, is because we want those dead shares out of the system. See, Kodiak and many other people are of the belief that it's better to get dead shares off the system than it is to have the bleedouts slowly go back and get redistributed to stakers. In the long run, cleaning up dead shares is better for long-term stakers than the simple bleed out. And the bleed out is great too, because when stakes bleed out, as we know, all the HEX goes back to the staking class. It gets redistributed among everyone that is staked and penalizes the person that obviously forgot about their stake. But both scenarios are pretty good all around, but good accounting is slightly better. So he just kind of wanted to reward good accounting. It seemed a little bit more than just stakes bleeding out. Now there is a restake bonus. The restake bonus has to do with something called your stake debt. And if you get a restake bonus, this actually doubles your start bonus. So you could have a pretty high start bonus if you restake your following stake for the same amount of T-shares or more that it previously was. Now the requirements to earn a restake bonus is the new stake must be, again, a minimum of 1 year, and you must fulfill all restake bonus obligations. The new stake must be started after your highest end bonus payout day. The new stakes must be greater than or equal to the highest end bonus stake days, and the new stake that you're making has to be longer than the previous end bonus that you had. So if the previous stake that you just unlocked was like 5 years, for example, you have to make it at least 5 years and 1 day for the new stake. And you also have to have more shares. And the number of shares in this new stake must be more than or equal to the cumulative shares from all of your end bonuses in the past. But it is capped, so new stake shares cannot be more than double to the cumulative shares from your end bonuses. So basically there's a tracker tracking all of your end bonuses and all the shares from your end bonuses. And that's to make sure that if you want the restake bonus, it's a way for the system to only have to read the contract and not do any contract writing or anything that would require you to, grant permissions in your MetaMask wallet, which then becomes a little bit sketchy for some people. So this is simply a way of the system looking back on all your stakes and seeing how long were all they in the past and making sure that if you want this restake bonus, well, it makes sure that when you make a new stake, it goes and checks all these parameters and says, is this new stake, does it have more shares than all of your old end bonuses? Does it have more days than all of your old end bonuses? And this is a way to encourage people to consistently stake bigger and longer over time, which is really, really good for the HEX price, if you ask me. So there's an example here. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. I really highly recommend you read the website. I'm just flying through this with trying to explain it as simply as I can in a short amount of time. Now there's also finally a staking communist bonus. So when you mint your start bonuses and your end bonuses, all that communist coin is going to be automatically staked. And it can be withdrawn whenever you want, but it's automatically staked. Now that's the only way to stake your communist is by minting it from the start bonus or the end bonus or the good accounting. Communists that you buy on the open market cannot be staked. I'll repeat that one more time. You cannot stake communists that you buy on the open market. The only way to have your COM token staked is by using the start bonus or the end bonus, by minting it from those two bonuses. Now your staked communist is going to gradually accrue APY at a pretty constant rate, roughly 5% APY per year. And it's paid out quarterly. So every quarter you get 1.25% every 91 days. So by the end of the year, 1.25 times 4 quarters equals 5% APY. You also must have more communists staked than your accumulated end bonus debt. And again, we're going to show you what that looks like in just a minute here. But the implications are that you have to make sure that you always have more COM token than end bonus debt, which encourages holding of the COM token as well. Every time you run the end bonus, you get more end bonus debt. And in order to keep making APY on your COM stakes, it also makes sure that you need to have a certain quantity that's always higher than your end bonus debt. This is a really fascinating pumpamental built in that always encourages people to hold the coin, hold the COM coin, and obviously hold HEX and stake HEX. But if you want to earn that 5% APY on COM, you need to have enough COM to always be outweighing your end bonus debt, just to make sure that you can't just be ending your bonus all the time, and minting so much COM just for the purpose of dumping. Because it becomes clear that if you just keep minting COM without actually having any of it staked, and your staked COM is lower than your debt, than your end bonus debt, it becomes clear that you're kind of just a dumper in the system. So why would we want to give you more APY if you're somebody that tends to just want to dump COM all the time. I find all this super fascinating, and I don't think I'm even fully realizing how powerful this is going to be. We're going to see how this plays out in reality, and it's going to be very interesting. But if you want to know how this works, guys, it's very, very simple. Just go to the dashboard right now. So I just clicked dashboard, and here I am at the Communis dashboard. Now, I love that you can batch mint all start bonuses, so whether or not you have 1 stake or 10 stakes or even 100 stakes. I did this earlier, and I minted a handful of stakes, and it cost me about $30 in gas to mint a whole bunch of stakes all at once, without having to go in and click over and over and over again like you have to do in Hedron. So this is much more convenient if you ask me in terms of gas savings. So I can do this right now just to show you how it goes. Batch mint, and then right when you want to mint, you get to see how much of all the minted COM do you want to apply to a stake. I'm going to choose 100% because I just want to stake it right now. I can't even sell it on the open market. There's not even a market for it yet. I'm just going to say yes, mint all, and it batches it all together, and I've only got to pay, what, $6 in gas? Not too bad at all. Now I want to show you guys what happens when this transaction goes through and show you guys how it automatically gets staked for you. You don't really have to do anything at all other than click the button one time. And if you notice, there were no permissions. And while this is loading, I'm going to tell you guys the contract has been audited, and Kodiak paid out of his own pocket. He didn't raise any money. He paid for the audit, and the audit came back clean and perfect. So as we know, audits don't mean a guarantee that the code is safe, but it sure does help. And I probably wouldn't be talking about this project at all if it wasn't at least audited by a pretty well-known company. So big respect to Kodiak for making something that actually incentivizes people to stake longer and larger, gives people free coins. So the transaction just went through. Now you can see what staked Communis looks like. It's really simple. It's just you only get 1 stake per wallet, and it's automatically staked again with the start bonuses and the end bonuses and the good accounting function. Those are the only ways to get staked Communis in your wallet. You can't just buy it and stake it. You need to earn it. You need to earn it by actually committing to those long stakes and proving your commitment. So it's very, very fascinating. By proving your commitment to long stakes and healthy staking behavior in HEX, you also are allowed to stake your COM and earn 5% APY on your COM token. Now we'll scroll down here and you can see there's a tracker for end bonus debt. So every time I run the end bonus, I'm going to have a certain amount of end bonus debt. And this end bonus debt number always needs to be lower than the amount of COM I have staked in order for me to meet those APY requirements. Remember, we talked about that in the previous screen. That's all that means. And also, in order to get that restake bonus, all of your restake bonus obligations will be listed here, meaning as you accrue end bonus debt, in order to get a restake bonus, you're going to have to stake for a certain length of days and a certain number of shares, right? So those obligations in terms of how many shares do you need and how long do you need to stake it for, those are going to appear in here, but only after I start accruing end bonus debt. I haven't ended any stakes yet. The whole thing just started today. I don't have any end bonus debt because I haven't minted the end bonus because none of my stakes have ended today. I've only minted a bunch of start bonuses. Now, if you stuck with me this far, here's a cool couple of Easter eggs. The good accounting bonus can be run by any staker address if you know how to find their stake ID. I won't be explaining how to do this, and I'm still actually trying to figure it out myself. But if you want to run good accounting either for yourself or for other people that forget about their stakes, wink wink, you can do that down here in this little box, and you can earn a tiny little bit of COM for every time you run a good accounting function. And finally, I love this part right here. This really reminds me of the early days of HEX and the adoption amplifier. This is another chance to do a referral system. So if you use my referral link, which is getcomcoin.com, if you go to getcomcoin.com and you found this video useful, I'll get 1% of your start bonuses and end bonuses. And if you tell your friends about this and they use your referral link, you'll get 1% of their start bonuses and end bonuses too. So a referral bonus is an amazing way to add longevity to the Communis token and to any token for that matter. Referral bonuses are awesome. You could make an entire living on referral bonuses. I know people that do that. They just do affiliate marketing and they make all their money from referral bonuses. It's a legitimate way to make money. There's only one tier of referrals, so it's not a pyramid scheme, but it's a very common thing. You know, Amazon has a referral program. Every company out there, Tesla. Referral programs really, really work. And so I'm really glad to see that Kodiak added this. And so again, if you go to getcomcoin.com, link in the description below, I'm going to get 1% of all of the start bonuses and end bonuses that you do. And it doesn't take away from yours. It doesn't take away from any minting, any bonuses on your end. Okay, it just mints 1% on top of everything that you get minted. So it really costs you nothing to go. And again, if you found this video useful, check out getcomcoin.com. And if you want to make your own referral link, well, you just copy and paste it right here, and you can share it to whoever you want to share it with. And good luck on your referral journey. So that's it, guys. That's communis.app. Check out communis.app if you want to be part of this and get in early. Again, it really doesn't cost you much. The only thing you're leaving on the table by waiting is you're getting marginally penalized out of your start bonus every day that you wait. But it's honestly so small, and it's going to be a negligible difference if you wait for a week or a month or even 2 more months from now. And you don't even have to do any of this at all. So let me know what you think in the comments. And if you found this useful, make sure to like and share with your friends and make Communis go viral. Because in my opinion, adding Communis onto the HEX protocol is like a behavior modification for the people that weren't quite doing it right, because it now gives you this mintable coin that, although it doesn't have a market yet, we're still very, very early. So we're going to see how the liquidity picks up on this thing on Uniswap over the next couple of days. And I personally would love to see the Communis token thrive, because if it does well, that just means that the underlying HEX protocol does even better. See, I look at Communis itself like a pumpamental on top of HEX. The entire coin was designed to encourage long-term staking and to encourage people to keep their shares in the system and not cash out and not dump. I mean, it encourages minimums of 180 days, again, for your start bonus, minimums of 365 days to qualify for the end bonus. It encourages good accounting to be run all the time so there's no stale shares in the system. It has pumpamentals to hold. You know, you could earn 5% APY on your staked Communis token, but only if you have more Communis token than you have end bonus debt. It's all very complicated, so get familiarized with this terminology and read the website and let me know what your conclusion is. Now, I understand it's really early, and if you want to hold off on minting all this, again, you're not going to be losing or missing out on that much. There's no crazy multipliers for getting in early. And you might want to do that just to be safe, because again, no smart contract is without risk. And although I think this is safe, I'm only one guy, and you should get more than one person's opinion before doing anything. More importantly, think for yourself and make your own opinion. I always say that. But I really love the idea behind it. I really trust Kodiak, the developer, who's been around since day one. He actually built backuphex.com, which is another place, wink wink, you can actually go to backuphex.com to find expired stakes from various users that forgot about their stakes. So if you want to do that good accounting strategy, I'll let you in on a little secret there. Backuphex.com, also created by the lovely HEX developer Kodiak. Longtime community member, and I wish the best for him and this project in general. See, this is one of those things that I think it's just a win-win for everybody involved. And the more people we tell, again with that referral program, encouraging more people to know about this, I really think this could have a potentially bright future as a token alongside and parallel to HEX, just like Hedron. Now, although the functionalities of both these tokens and the purpose behind them are completely different, these are both tokens that directly complement the actual HEX protocol. And while Hedron extends the functionality of HEX by offering, wrapped stakes and personal loans via the Hedron token, Communis encourages more of the psychological side. It actually adds to the game theory, the stickiness, and the long-term viability of HEX by encouraging long-term stakers and encouraging obviously positive price pressure directly to the HEX coin itself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and if you want to talk more about this, consider joining my chat room in the Patreon below. Patreon.com/CryptoCoffee369. We could chat all about this. It's brand new. I'm real excited about it, and we will see what happens. Catch you on the next one.